Hey there, I'm Charlie and welcome back to Spooky Season. Today I will be doing another Halloween tag. I came across this tag in a YouTube video by Jordan Van Ryn. Both the video and their account I will link in the description below along with all the questions in the tag. Let's jump into it. Question 1. What is your favorite Halloween movie? This may be a controversial answer, but my favorite Halloween movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas. I argue that it is both a Halloween and Christmas movie, though I know that people have very strong opinions that say it's one or the other. If that's you, that's fine. Please don't come for me. As I've said, growing up in Tasmania, I didn't have a huge Halloween representation around me, and Nightmare Before Christmas was the first remotely Halloween thing that I ever encountered, or at least remember encountering. So I personally see it as a Halloween and Christmas film, and I love it for both seasons. Question 2. What is your fondest Halloween memory? I don't have a great deal of specific Halloween memories. As I said, it wasn't really a factor in my life growing up. I think I first started having Halloween parties and exploring Halloween more through my teen years and my early adulthood, but I think the earliest memory, and therefore something that I have quite a bit of fondness from, was probably a combination party of Halloween and my childhood best friend's birthday. So I had a friend who was born in the middle of October and would often have Halloween crossover themed birthday parties. There were always costumes and activities and decorations and food, and it was the closest thing to a real Halloween that I personally ever experienced up until that point. And specifically, I want to mention one of the parties that was held at an army barracks near where we live. And my costume was the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, who is someone that in my young life terrified me. As well as the actual costume that I put together, I made a severed head out of paper mache that I converted into a purse and carried around the party because, you know, off with her head. It was a really nice party. We had games and food and good company, everyone dressed up, and it was just a really new experience for me. So I think that's probably my fondest Halloween memory, even though it probably happened somewhere around the 20th. Question 3. Have you always been a Halloween lover? I think that if Halloween had been a big popular thing for me growing up, I absolutely would have always been a Halloween lover. But in reality, I didn't know it existed until pretty late in the game, to be honest. Ever since I first started encountering Halloween and looking into it on my own, I have loved it, hands down. And I love celebrations in general. I love the decorations, I love the food, I love the company, I love the clothes, the costumes, the outfits, whatever. I'm a big fan of celebrating. So when I first started looking into Halloween, I was immediately hooked. A big part of that, of course, was the spooky aesthetic, which I really enjoy, but I think it was more of an overall experience that drew me in. So no, I technically haven't always been a Halloween lover because I didn't really know about it, but once I did, absolutely. Question 4. How do you get into the Halloween spirit? I think a little bit of me is always in the Halloween spirit. It's not really something I know how to turn off. I don't really know how to turn off any of my celebratory spirits, which is why I sing Christmas songs all year round. Yes, I'm that person, but it's okay because they're generally in foreign languages, so it's fine, I think. But the main way that I get into the Halloween spirit, or any season spirit, is through decoration. Hence this. I know that there's not a lot on these shelves that's Halloween, but it's basically all the Halloween stuff I have. So to me, it makes me feel a lot more in the Halloween spirit to have these decorations out. Question 5. What are your favorite Halloween decorations? Could there be a better segue question? I just said that was how I got into the spirit of Halloween, and now I get to show them off. I know I've showed you them in the haul, but I will just show you a couple of the things that I really like. I'm not even gonna take them down generally. This Halloween wreath that I have next to me that I showed in my mini Halloween haul at the start of spooky season is probably my favorite Halloween decoration. I love the colors, I love the finish of the colors, the combination of matte and shiny, and I love the jack-o'-lanterns. It's also the first time I've ever seen a wreath for Halloween, and the first time I'd ever seen a wreath made of baubles. I will of course special reference everything on the shelves that I have included in my previous hauls because I do love them and they are really nice. But I do have one other decoration that I haven't been able to display here, which I will show you now. This is my one Halloween wall hanging, and honestly I don't actually have a spot that it lives yet. That is something I'm working on. I just haven't decided where it's going to hang. This will probably exist year round though, to be honest. Just in case you can't read it, it says featuring Scaredy Cat, no treats, just Halloween tricks. The magic begins October 31st, midnight. Also the cat vaguely reminds me of mine, but not really. I just like cats. So I'd say overall, this and my wreath are my two favorite Halloween decorations. Question 6. What is your favorite Halloween/fall scent? So here again, we do run into the Southern Hemisphere effect. It is not fall for me, it is spring. So I don't have the same relationship with the season as someone in the Northern Hemisphere would. So I would say that I have to answer this question in two parts. I'm just gonna quickly say that my favorite fall related scents, or autumn as we would say it here in Australia, are earthy, woody, foresty type scents. Anything that smells like a man who's a lumberjack climbing pine trees, cooking me something on an open fire, and chopping wood. That smells pretty good to me. As for my favorite Halloween scents, I don't really know what counts as a Halloween scent, to be perfectly honest. Like, my brain immediately goes to pumpkin spice, but I don't know what that smells like. That being said, back when I used to sell candles, the company that I sold them through had a scent called Hocus Pocus. And it was the same scent, but it had different colors. There was a green color and a purple color, and they were really cute together. And I have no idea how to describe what that scent was, but it was beautiful. It smelled amazing. And it's one of those smells that if I ever do smell it, I'm back to hanging out with my friends, painting our faces for Halloween, sewing costumes, and having a great time. So Hocus Pocus candles, I guess, is my answer. Question 7, favorite candy. I'm actually a little bit confused by this question because I don't know whether it's specifically referring to like any types of candy, because candy isn't really a word we use in Australia. We use lollies and chockies and bickies. Like, we tend to categorize things more. I don't know if that happens with candy as well. So I'm just gonna go with my favorite sweets, because that's how I would describe it. So I hope that makes sense. If I'm interpreting that wrong, please tell me. But personally, I would say my favorite treats are chocolates. I have a lot of favorite chocolates that I'm not going to go through, but chocolates, or if not a chocolate, I really like things that fizz. This bowl is full of a combination of Halloween and Christmas candy, honestly, from last year. So don't at me. But I thought this might help answer the question about favorite candies. This is Whiz Fizz. If you're not familiar with it, it's a sherbet powder that comes in these little like papery bags, and it comes with a little colorful spoon that looks a little bit like a shovel for you to eat the sherbet with. This, I would say, while not something that I eat regularly, has the biggest memory attachment to it. This was something that we would get in party bags when you would go to a kid's birthday party growing up, and I feel like it's the type of thing that you could give away at Halloween, and I just really like it. It has a lot of nostalgia for me, but I do have some other things in here that I thought it might just be fun to show you. So this is by that same company, Whiz Fizz, but instead of being a powder, they're fizzes. They're like UFOs. They're little round discs that you put on your tongue, and they like dissolve and fizz, and they're just quite yummy. I'm only going to show 2 more candies because I know that's not the point of this video, but I just got really excited. Next up, we have the Trolley gummy range, especially the pizzas and the burgers, because those were the 2 that I would come across the most growing up. Again, these aren't things that I necessarily love because of the flavor, but I love because of the nostalgia. So Trolley pizzas, Trolley gummies in general. So my next favorite candy from this bowl of mixed Halloween and Christmas candies that I'm going to show you is Fads. If you don't know what these are, they're like a white stick lolly. They honestly kind of look like the sticks that would be on your lollipop, but they're basically just sugar. They do also have a less than ideal history. They did have a different name and a different design when they first started out. So I'll leave it at that, but feel free to look it up if you want to. But they were always fun. I feel like that was a slightly irrelevant detour, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Question 8, vampires or zombies? I really really wish that these questions had a little bit more context. Like if it said, do you prefer or which is scarier? But I guess that's up to me because it's not specified. Vampires. I think vampires are more stylish than zombies. I think vampires are cooler than zombies. I think vampires are more dangerous than zombies. They have more functional capacity and independent thought capabilities than a lot of zombie representation that I've encountered. So I feel like that makes them a lot more threatening because they are more sentient, I guess. Does that make sense? Question 9. What's a weird, odd fear? That is such a strange question because I'm afraid of a lot of things, but I wouldn't necessarily call any of them weird or odd, even though I suppose they could be to some people. But every fear that I have, or at least I think every fear that I've had that I've shared with someone, I've always met at least one other person with that fear. But I'm gonna go with balloons. I have always been afraid of balloons, but part of the reason why I'm including this as a weird, odd fear is while I have always been afraid of it, I used to be able to push past that. When I was younger, it was an isolated fear of the burst balloon, the noise, the suddenness, the explosion, the air release. That was my big fear. But now, as my life has developed and trauma has developed, I have an overall fear of balloons. I can see them, that's fine, but I can't blow them up anymore. I don't like the sound of them, I don't like the texture of them, I don't like the smell of them, and having them around me makes me panic because I know that they will inevitably break. And so I'm counting that as an odd fear just because it's changed throughout my life. I hope that counts. And that's it. That's the tag. Thank you so much for watching that video. And thanks again to Jordan Van Ryn, whose video actually allowed me to try this tag. Their channel and the video will be in the description below, as well as all of the questions should you want to do the tag yourself. Let me know in the comments what your favorite candy is and whether I even interpreted that question correctly. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on more spooky season coming this month. I hope you're having an amazing day and I can't wait to see you all soon. Bye!